Hello, welcome guys, welcome back to another video. As always, I start every video thanking you guys for all your likes, subscribes, shares, and all your support for the page. Thank you guys so much. So today's video, just a little background. I've been playing competitive FIFA for about 18 months now, and almost every other stream, every other time that I stream, someone's like, oh, how do I, play with your team, or how do I play, what leagues can I play in, or who do I message, blah, blah, blah. Or whenever I go to the, communities that I'm in, and I'm like, I see people saying, how do I join a team, how to become a manager, things like that. So I went through a little 7-step walkthrough of how you can, it's actually 6 steps, but basically how you can get into the game. All right, so number 1. I spelled this wrong. All right, number 1. Play seasons. Play seasons matches. If you're new to pro clubs, or if you actually play pro clubs for a minute, play seasons. I'm not talking about play seasons just with 2 players, like with 5, 6, 5 to like a full team. Like play full games with friends or people you meet, and like just see how 11v11 works. See how you have to position yourself, how you have to move, things like that. Because it's very different when you play, 2 to 4 players, and then when you play 5 to full teams, right? There's a lot more movement, a lot less space. It's a lot harder to score and a lot harder to, just abuse the other team with skills or whatever. So that's number 1. Always make sure that you're playing seasons matches, right? Drop-ins is cool, but seasons is really where you get better and where you really learn about the game, because you're playing with people that actually have brains that work. Sorry for my drop-in players out there. But number 2, right? The more you play FIFA, the more you play seasons, the more you meet people, you start to develop a community, right? So you find a community wherever you live. I live in the US, so my community is a bunch of American players. Find a community wherever you live, because there's always a community in every part, well, for most parts of the world, right? I know there's European communities, South American, North American, Asian, African, what's the other one? Australian. I've never played against an Australian team, but I'm sure they exist if every other continent exists. So wherever you live, maybe that's Facebook or Twitter, find a community of, players that you can play with, or you can join leagues and things like that. And then you hop in. So once you do that, you find a league. And for me, where I live, VPN and VPG are the two biggest leagues that I've played in. So that's ACL, American Club Leagues, and then VPG, Virtual Pro Gaming America is where. But I've also played Costa Rican, Ecuadorian, like basically every continent has their own leagues. So just make sure that you're looking for it, right? So if you want to become a competitive gamer and maybe one day even become a pro streamer or a pro professional gamer, or join an esports team, you really gotta play. You gotta find a community, and you gotta find a league, right? And then that's kind of the first couple steps to getting into it. But I've been to step 4, but really before all of this, you gotta figure out what position you want to play, right? So for me, I play cam, I play striker. I can play CB, I can play CDM. I mean, if it's really like necessary, but like those are my main 2 positions, cam and striker. Find yours and then just play it, right? You don't gotta, but the first step to actually getting into this is figuring out what you can play the best, and then playing those positions, right? Practice a lot, practice all types of, builds, see what build works best for you, and then just get in, right? And then the more you practice, the more you play with full teams, the better you start to become. And then along with that, you gotta find a team that fits your play style, right? So if you're a possession type of player, you're not gonna want to play on a team that's like a long ball or crossing or anything like that. You want to play with a team that matches your play style, right? So like I'm really quick, short passes, boom, boom, boom. Don't really like dribbling, so when I manage my teams, we prioritize short passing, quick movement, blah blah blah. That's how we play, right? I go to other teams. Sometimes they want to, dribble a little bit more. But if I'm not the manager, I can't really speak on anything. So find a team that matches your play style, and then just play with them and see how that goes. Speaking from experience, you play with a team that doesn't match your play style, you're gonna be frustrated the entire time. And yeah, that's part of the reason why I took a little break from competitive, because I was starting to get a little bit stressed. And then lastly, once you do all that, like, you just play well, make a name for yourself. Aim for making teams of the season. Aim for being the leading goal scorer, leading assister, leading in clean sheets, things like that. And the more a name is made for yourself, the more teams will, the top teams will want to sign you. The more maybe your national team wants you to play, and it just becomes fun. Like, it's just fun when you feel like you feel like you're being recognized, feel like a good player. You're having fun. You're making friends, and the communities, FIFA communities. Like, there's we all have every community has their own issues. Toxic kids, whatever. Memes and all that stuff. But generally, I think it's a good place to be. You make some friends. I made some friends from playing competitively. I've met some new people, and it's just a fun thing to do, right? If you're not someone that's so serious about it that you don't want to play the sweats of the sweats, you can always play like a D2 or D3 team or a lower level team and just have fun. Like, just mess around with friends, and maybe if you get to that point where you want to play competitively at the highest level, then you could do that. But yeah, that's kind of it. That's the step by step. At least for me, that's how I got into competitive gaming. I don't know if you guys who are already competitive gamers have a different viewpoint or how you went about it, but I'd love to hear about it. But yeah, the purpose of this video is I saw the kind of changes that FIFA made in for 22, and the game is looking a lot more. What's the word? Looking a lot more interactive. Like, they're trying to make it a lot more fun, because Pro Clubs has been neglected for a decade. I've been playing this game for a decade, and Pro Clubs hasn't gotten anything good, nothing good. They've only taken away good stuff and then brought back the same stuff, but like at a lesser version, right? So this time they're really trying to do more, right? It's not everything we want yet, and I'll make a video on that for sure. But they're trying to do more than they've done before, right? And I think with that, we're gonna see Pro Clubs become like a bigger mode next year, right? It's not gonna be Ultimate Team, but it's gonna be a much better game mode. Like, I really feel strongly about that, and I never ever look forward to Pro Clubs because I know it's the same thing. So if I'm excited about it, then I must be feeling something special happening. But yeah, that's it. Pro Clubs is going to be huge next year, and I feel like competitive is going to play a big role in that as well. More streamers, more Twitch views, more YouTubers, and then the game's just going to be better, more competitive. And once everyone gets better, it's going to be more competitive. Because I like scoring goals and things like that. I don't like smacking on kids 7-0 in the first half. Like, it's not fun. But yeah, that's the video. I hope you guys A, are already competing, or B, want to get into the competitive scene, because it's a lot of fun. For all the reasons I mentioned before, you're gonna really enjoy it. And then just give it a try. If it's not for you, then just go back to playing casual seasons, and the game's fun regardless. But make sure you guys like, subscribe, share this video, comment if you have any thoughts on what I said or any different thoughts. And yeah, I'll be seeing you guys in a couple days. Thank you so much.